Hi. I it always feels so weird coming back and, like, going live on YouTube because, like, I always take these breaks. I literally always take these breaks, and the breaks are never intended unless they are intended. And my last break was kind of like I did plan to take a break. I did plan to take a break. I wasn't happy with the views I was getting and the interaction I was getting, and so, like, that break was intentional. I just wasn't expecting it to be this long, and, um, I had planned to go live one more time while I was in the dorms, and that didn't happen. 'Cause I was busy, and I was stressing, and I was crying, and I was saying goodbye to friends, and I was doing everything, and I was doing homework and just trying to pass college, and I did. I'm officially done with college, unless I go back for my master's, which I don't think I will go back for my master's, at least not anytime soon, because your girl had been in college since she was this many, and now she this many. She this many and she needs a break. And but then like my sister, I told her like I'm done with school, and she's like, "Are you sure? Like you're gonna be a teacher? Like you're gonna be in the classroom for the rest of your life?" And I'm like, "I'm done learning. I'm done being a student. I want to be a teacher. I am done." And so that's like the biggest life update I since I've last talked with you guys. Well, I mean, I know I published like a YouTube short at like 9 PM, but and well, I was like on a Wings Club like deep dive with like a YouTube channel, and they just made me bring up like all this hatred I have for Wings Club and again, and it made me want to just like talk about it. And so that's why there was that random shorts upload that you guys also got to see like my short hair. Well, I don't even know if you guys see me with my hair that it grew. It did grow. But I feel like since I've like cut it more, I feel like once I was first cutting my hair, it wouldn't grow as fast. But now, oh no, it would grow fast. But now that it's like I cut it, when did I cut it in February and then July? I don't remember when like I first cut it in the year. I feel like it was well, like because I remember I wanted my friend to like re-dye my hair, and they did. But I no, I did cut my hair. I cut my hair before they dyed my hair because I didn't know if we would have enough color to put in it. So, because I didn't feel like buying a new bottle. And so I cut it before we dyed my hair. And so I cut it in February and then I cut it in July after I saw Lady Gaga. I didn't want to cut it before because I didn't want like my hair to be ugly when I saw Lady Gaga. And so I had it basically it was just bleached, like all the color was out and it still looked ugly, but I liked my longer hair better than what would have been like a short bob. And so I cut it after the Lady Gaga concert, and then I cut it January 1st, like 19 days ago, and cuz I just it took like 6 months for my hair to like finally get long enough where I would feel comfortable enough to cut it. And I also wanted to be like a new year, new me kind of thing because I had had that dyed hair since April 2024 and it was January 1st, 2026. And so I was done with my dyed hair. And the itch to dye it again, especially when you have like bottles. I have purple, I have red, I have blue, I have like all these colors, and the temptation to dye it again is real. But I want to let my hair heal naturally. I don't want any more bleach in it because there was bleach in it for like a year and a half, and I'm sure that there might still be some bleach in there. Um, I also want to get a tattoo. That's another life update thing. I've had this tattoo since 2022, like right before I moved in with like my really good group of friends. I've had it for like 3.5 years. And it took me like 4 years to actually get the tattoo because first I was underage, so I couldn't get the tattoo. And then when I was of age, I was scared to get the tattoo. And then I was like, you know what? We're just gonna do it. We're just gonna get the tattoo. And then I got the tattoo. And now I feel like since I've dyed my hair like 5 times, because the first time I dyed my hair, there's this 2016 trend going around on like Instagram and where we all want to like go back to like and live in like 2016. And I first dyed my hair or had dyed hair in 2016. And it's 2026. So like I dyed my hair for the first time 10 years ago when I was this many. And now I'm this many. And so I want to like put my focus and my money into getting a second tattoo. And my friend that would like dye my hair for me, they said they would want they I asked like would you like want to come with me when I get my second tattoo? And they were like, "Of course I would go with you because they have lots of tattoos and I only have one tattoo and when I got this tattoo I went with my mommy." So like I will love a friend to come with me when I get my second tattoo. I don't know what it will be because I have lots of ideas for tattoos, but I just know I would want to get a tattoo, get my second tattoo over dyeing my hair again. If I dye my hair again, hopefully that'll be like a 2027 thing and not a 2026 thing. Because, like I said, I'm prioritizing getting a second tattoo over dyeing my hair again. So that's like another like okay, so like we've covered I finished college, I want to get a tattoo, um I passed the credential program and so all I need to do is like turn in all this like paperwork to like get my credential. So that's really exciting. I'm going to become a teacher. If I want to become a teacher in the fall, I would need to apply by like February or March. So that's kind of scary. And then but, like, I don't know if I wanna be a teacher by the fall. Like, I had my sub license, like, I wanna go back to my college town, and I have my sub license out there, and I want to, like, further know the schools out there and kind of, like, see what school, like, works for me. So, I would love to sub more, but also, like, my credential candidate friends would most likely be starting in the fall, and I would love to start with them, that way I can get, like get advice on, like, how to be a teacher, and so I feel like if I were to, like, not teach in the fall, I would, um, be, like, a year behind my credential candidate friends. So that's kind of hard of, like, what do I want to do in the fall? Like, I wanna be back in my college town by the start of the new school year, or not b start of the new school year, but, like, by August. Like, I kept telling my friends, like, "Oh, I wanna be out there by, like, April or May," but, like, realistically, I don't think that'll happen. Like, as much as I don't want to stay home until, like, August, I feel like I just can't stay here for a whole year because there's nothing to do here, and if I'm in my college town, there's literally a bus that can take me from my college town to the city, and then there's also a bus from my college town that can take me to a city where one of my family members works, and then they can bring me home. And so, like, it's just more convenient for me to be in my college town because there's a bus that takes you to the city, and the city is where concerts happen. And if you know me, I went to 9 concerts in 2023. I went to Disneyland 4 times in 2023. I feel like 2023 was my peak. Like, I literally went I saw Taylor Swift in March. I saw Sabrina Carpenter in April. I saw Hayley Kiyoko in May. I saw Kelsey Ballerini in June. I saw Taylor Swift again in July. I saw Billy Currington and Beyonce in August. I saw Pink in September. And then, or was it October? I think it was October. I bought the tickets in September, but then I saw her in October. And then I also saw Katy Perry. I went to 9 concerts, and I had tickets for 2 more concerts, but I had to cancel the did I? Or was it tw no, that was 2024. That never mind. But I had 9 concerts I went to, and then I went to Disneyland in January 2023, in March 2023, in May 2023, and then in August 2023. And then on top of those 9 concerts, the first one was in Vegas, and the last one was in Vegas. So, like, 20 and I also met Chats and React. Bonnie and Emily, they came all the way from Australia to come see Taylor Swift and Santa Clara, and they had a meetup for all their, like, California friends in the city, and I got to meet them, and they are so tall. They are so tall compared to me. Like, I'm 5 foot, and Bonnie is, like, the tallest out of the 2 of them, and they're both pretty tall, and she had to put her head on my head. Like, that's how tall she was. Like, that's what she does when she takes photos with, like, shorter people. She puts her head on the other person's head, and it was just like, "Wow, I'm short." But yeah, I don't think anything will ever top 2023, but, like, in 2024, I saw Maren Morris, I saw Brooks& and Dunn, I saw Colby Calais, I saw Joshua Bassett, and I also saw Andy Grammer. And then in 2025, I saw well, also Disneyland-wise in 2024, I went to Disney Channel Night and also Oogie Boogie for the first time. Totally fun. And then in 2025, last year, I saw Kelsey Ballerini, I saw Halsey, I saw who was after Halsey? Lady Gaga. How could I forget about Lady Gaga? I literally saw Lady Gaga, and then I saw Big Time Rush, and then I saw Sabrina Carpenter. I was debating on going for my birthday to see Sabrina or going closing night because I hadn't been to a closing night since Katy Perry back in 2023. And so it was like I when I saw Maren Morris in 2024, that was my first opening night I went to for a tour. And then for when I saw Halsey, that was my second night going to an opening night for a tour. And then I was like, birthday show or closing night? And I chose closing night for the short and sweet tour, and I loved it. My surprise song was Goodbye, because duh. My Juno arrest was Miss Piggy because Sabrina Carpenter is doing something with the Muppets. And my Juno position was her crossing the finish line. There was a double meaning to it, and I'm just telling this meaning. Uh, she crossed the finish line because she was actually done with the short and sweet tour. If you want to think of the other meaning, go ahead, but I'm not saying that. But yeah, so that was like, and then I only went to Disneyland one time last year. Like I tried to make a goal, like go twice in a year, but last year I only went once. I went in June and I went for Pride Night, and Pride Night was really fun. Um, I got to meet all these wonderful people. I got to meet one of my favorite TikTokers. Her name's Jasmine. She wasn't there for Pride Night, but or maybe I don't think she was, I don't know. But I saw her, like so, like, I believe, like, in things happen for at, there's a right ti there's a I believe things happen for a reason, and so I was in line waiting for Tiana's Bayou, and then it breaks down, and then like, I got off and I literally saw people at the top of Tiana's Bayou, and they were, like, getting ready to go down that drop, but they were still sitting there. And then as I was there waiting, I was watching him, I saw her because I recognized her bleached blonde hair, and I was like, "Is that?" Then I was like, "There's no way." And then I saw her husband because her husband's also recognizable, and I was like, "Oh my god, that is her." And then her husband saw that I, like, noticed him, and he was like, "I think she wants to talk," and I was like, and so, like, I got to meet Jasmine. Sh She also had her sons with her, and it's like, I didn't wanna, like, interrupt her, like, too much, but, like, I still met her. And then there's also this wheelchair user, her name is Kaylee, but we call her Slately, and she was also there that Pride night I was there, and I didn't get to meet her. Like, I just that was the second time we were at Disneyland together at the same time. The second night, because when I saw Captain America, the musical, at Hyperion Heights at Disneyland in 2023, she was in the musical. Like, she was literally a performer in the musical. And then when I went for Pride Night, she was there with her girlfriend. I can't believe I missed her twice. I missed her twice. I swear to God, if I go next time, I'm gonna be looking at the wheelchair users, and I'm gonna be like, "Is Kaylee here?" Like, I need to meet Kaylee. She is fantastic. Um, so that's kind of like the what am I doing irresponsibly with my money life update. I also wanted to talk about, like, everything I was able to, like, do in college, or just, like, personal life update and all that. Like, I've already talked about, like, stuff, but I had took notes about specific stuff I really wanted to talk about and everything I was able to, like, accomplish while in college. And so, like, when college first started, it was 2020, and C-19 had happened. I'm pretty sure I can call it COVID now. Like, when I was first starting YouTube, or when I got back into YouTube, I would just call it C-19. I wouldn't call it COVID because videos were getting flagged if you would bring up that word. And so I'd call it C-19. And it destroyed my last, like, 8, 9 weeks of high school. I didn't get a senior ball. I bought my dress and I never got to use it until I went to the Eras Tour for a second time in 2023, and my Disneyland trip got canceled, and we didn't get to do a senior sunset, and the graduation was a drive-through, and then my first year of college was completely online, and I also joined Discord, and I got to meet some really amazing people, and I got to meet people that were not amazing, and there's this one person I really regret not staying in touch with, and I have reached out to her a couple times, and at this point, I'm just gonna leave it be, and if she doesn't wanna get in contact with me, then she doesn't need to get in contact with me. I just want her to know I'm, like, one of her biggest silent supporters, and every once in a while, I'll see her TikToks pop up on my For You page, and it'll just bring me flashbacks to when we were friends back in 2021. Like, I joined this Discord server and, like, we were, like, talking with a bunch of, like, other people in 2020, but, like, we didn't become friends until 2021. And now that we're talking about 2021, let's just further that conversation. Um, I moved onto campus for 13 days. I didn't even last 2 weeks. Some things happened, and um it just didn't work. And I was really grateful that I was able to move on campus and I was able to experience the dorm life and how things worked before I moved onto campus in the fall. So that was really nice. And then, like I said, this for this Discord friend group, we were really close the beginning of 2021. And then one of us left because I don't even know, like, what I could, like, let's just say, like, one of us left, and then things hit the fan, and we were trying to survive without her, and it just wasn't working. And so then, like, we just became more split up, and we weren't doing things as much together anymore, and yeah. I'm still friends with quite a few of them from the Discord life. I don't only talk to the people, like, around my age group because everybody older turned out to be a-holes, and then everybody younger were minors, and so it wasn't like I wasn't comfortable talking to people that were that much younger than me, and well, I say that much younger than me, I was literally 18. No, no, I was 19, but I still just didn't feel comfortable talking to, like, people under 18. And, like I said, I moved into for my 2nd year of college, and, this 2nd year went way better than my 1st year because even though um my 1st year, I was isolated. I was at home, I stayed home for an extra year because California colleges weren't letting anybody move on campus, and so or do classes in person, and then that year was just really hard. And then my 2nd year, I was able to move in. I had a class that was in person, but I was getting major health anxiety where the cases were rising, and I just didn't feel comfortable in that in-person class. And so my whole 1st semester for my 2nd year of college was also online. And I had my first positive experience living on campus, and it was amazing. I'm still friends with one of them to this day. Unfortunately, she doesn't live in California anymore, which is a real bummer because I do miss her. Um, and after that, 2021, I lost right before I turned 20, days before I turned 20, we had to put one of my best friends down. We put one of my dogs down, and she had been there for every milestone I hit. She was there when I started middle school. She was there when I became a teenager. She was there when I graduated middle school. She was there when I started high school. She was there when I graduated high school. She was there when I started college. She was days away from hitting my next mile marker when I turned 20. And so like now my 20th birthday just feels tainted with she wasn't there for it. And then I got my braces off. I had had my braces on since 8th grade, and I finally got them off my freshman year of college or my sophomore year of college. It happened in 2021. What month, what day? Don't ask me. I just know what year it happened. And I also saw the Driver Era. That was the first concert I had been back to since COVID started. I saw Blake Shelton in February 2020, and you could see the panic people were starting to have with COVID because the first case broke out in 2019, but it didn't become a global pandemic until March of 2020. And so it was um like I said, you could start seeing the panic in people's eyes of like the cases rising, but people were still in denial and like didn't like believe there would be much to like, nothing would, like, happen. Nobody thought the world was gonna shut down. That's what I'm trying to say, and then it did. And then my first concert back was the Driver Era. I had to show them my vaccination card, I had to wear a mask when I went, like, it was crazy. Concerts in 2021 were crazy because not a lot of people were touring. But the people that were, you had to show vaccination cards and you had to wear a mask but then like when you were in the venue, they weren't spacing you out. Like I was like the GA floor and we were all crammed like sardines despite Omicron on the rise and everything else. And then with the mention of Omicron, that would lead into my 2nd semester of college, or my 2nd semester of my sophomore year of college. And I classes got pushed to online for like the first 3 weeks of college. Like for the first like after we came back from winter break, classes were pushed online for like 3 weeks of college. And so that led me to like mid-February, and if it had gone on for like a month longer, I would have been online for classes for 2 years. Because, like I said, COVID became a global pandemic in 2020, and high school finished online. College started online, and if my classes had been online through March of 2022, I would have been online for classes for 2 whole years. For 2 whole years. Woo! We gotta love that. And then, um, I returned to Disneyland in 2022. I hadn't been in 7 years. We went in May, and then I convinced my mom to get annual passes because I wanted to, have a mother-daughter trip, and we did get one. And, it was really fun having that mother-daughter trip, and so we just got passes, and that's kind of why I was able to go, like, 4 times in 2023. So that was fun, and then, I met my really good group of friends. We're called the Frogs. I have a keychain that one of my friends gave me, if I can find it. One of my friends gave each of us a frog because that's what our group chat is called. We're called the Frogs. We did trivia together when we lived together, and our trivia name was Frogs. PHRO with, like, the 2 dots above the O, GZ, Frogs. And that just kinda became, like, our group chat name and, like, what we call ourselves and all of that. And I took photos with them. We did JCPenney photos 4 times, 2 years, and those were amazing. I don't know if they're gonna happen again. I would love for them to happen again, but we're just not prioritizing them, and, um, I saw Lady Gaga for the first time in 2022. When I saw the Chromatica Ball, I was like, "I need to go to her next tour." I need like, the Chromatica Ball was amazing. And and then once her next tour happened for the Mayhem Ball, I was like, "Do I see Lady Gaga or do I see Katy Perry?" Because they were in San Francisco, but, like, Katy Perry was the week before, and then Lady Gaga was the next week, and I was like, "Who am I gonna see?" Because I can't afford to go to San Francisco. Like, if I lived in my college town, I could have taken the bus to the city to go see both of them. I could have done that because when I also saw Katy Perry, I was like, I need to see her next tour. Or I need to go to her next yeah. So her next I needed to go to her tour. I saw her for the end of her Vegas residency, and I was like, I need to go to her tour. And then when they decided to tour in the same year, I was like freaking out. Yeah, I saw Lady Gaga for the first time in 2022. Um, what else happened? I turned 21. I was able to have a drink. And if you guys want to see like my 21st birthday, did I do that for my 21st birthday? Did I talk about it? I think I did. You guys can go scroll my channel and see if I talked about my 21st birthday. I believed I talked about it. And then I bought Eras tour tickets. Like Midnight's got announced, and that's kind of like when I was kind of trying to like focus on this YouTube channel. And so there was videos out left and right and everything, and it was just so much fun being in the Midnight's era with you guys. And when the Eras tour got announced, I didn't get tickets right away. I did not survive the Ticketmaster war when it first happened. But then a second chance came in December of 2022, and I was able to score VIP VIP venue tickets. And so they're not VIP Taylor Swift tickets. When I got the tickets, I had to give them a price range and how many I wanted. And I gave them that, and they gave me those tickets were hella pricey. And um I got my ticket and they were VIP venue tickets. And so with the VIP venue tickets, we had our own little section where we got like special bracelets, and we had our own food area, and we had our own bar area, and so like it was VIP venue tickets, not VIP Taylor Swift tickets. And I also had my first video hit 10K views. Um, this was on TikTok, and, um, 10K views or when did hold on. I'm just gonna turn my volume down so you guys don't hear it because I don't want to get copyrighted. But yep, okay, so it was 2022. That was my first video hit 10K views. It was on TikTok and it was for when what was it? Bob Saget passed away. And I had posted like an in memory of him from the end of Full House. Cause I don't know if I was watching Full House at the time or if I decided to watch it after he passed, but they had this in memory of Bob Saget at the end of the episodes, and I took a picture of it and I posted it on TikTok, and that was my most viewed video until 2025. Until 3 years later, almost 4 years later, that was my highest viewed TikTok video on my main account. And so that was amazing. And then in 2023, like I said, this was like my peak year. I went to 9 concerts. The first one kicked off in Vegas and the last one ended in Vegas. I went to see Taylor Swift in Vegas with one of my friends from the Frogs group chats, and it was amazing. And then I also saw Haley Kyoku with a different friend. That was my second concert, my third concert with a friend. And then that when I saw Haley Kyoku with, we also saw Katy Perry with. We flew to Vegas together for 24 hours, which I was like one of the wildest things I've ever done. um, and then I went to Disney 4 times. I also went on my first Disney trip by myself. Well, not by myself. I flew down there by myself, and then I met up with a friend and we had our first friends Disney trip. So that was fun. And I met Bonnie and Emily from Chats and React. I met my first online friend. They were from a different Discord group chat I met. I joined that Discord group in 2022, maybe? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe 2021. I think it was 2021. And then I also met Matt Bennett in 2023, who was from Victorious, and he's a DJ, and he came to a city near my college town, and I was like, we have to go. And I got to shake his hand because he was like playing a song, and then he was like coming to the front because I managed to get like barricade, not like barricade, like it was like a small venue inside, and I think the capacity like must have not been more than like 2,000 people, but I still got to be like right in front of the stage, and I got to shake his hand because he was like shaking everybody's hand, and he held on to my hand, and you could hear the excitement in my voice when he held my hand. And then I freaked out after that happened. And then I thought, like, right as I thought that that was the peak of the night, he brought people on stage. And I got to go on stage. And I got a video with him. And I almost fumbled the video because I was like recording myself. And then I wanted to like record him. And then he disappeared. And then he was right next to me. And then I had to try to flip my camera around before he left. And so I flipped it and I didn't fumble it. And I was able to get a video of us singing together. And then I also got a selfie with him. So like 3 different I was like, I thought the handshake was gonna be the peak of the night. And then I thought the video with him was gonna be the peak of the night. And then I got a photo with him. And I was like, I was literally freaking out. And then in 2024, wait, there's one thing I need to check on just to see, like, where it's at. Do, 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 do. Will you load? Can I Oh, we're not signed in. I think that's because I'm live on here. Let me see if I can check my phone. Yep, I'm still logged in on my phone, okay. Alright, so we're just gonna see when this video like, how many years ago it was. 'Cause I want to know when it happened. Because I did have a video hit 1,000 views. I just can't remember what year it was. Oh, this is on YouTube. Like, I had a video. So it was 2 years ago. So when Guts came out, like, from Olivia Rodrigo, it was a try-on haul, like a back to school haul I had, and this was back in 20 this was 2023. And so 2023 was the was the year I had my highest viewed video on YouTube. I got 1,000 views and I was like, "Oh my god, like this is my peak. This is when people are going to notice me." And then it took a plummet. But the fact that in 2022 I had a video hit 10,000 views on TikTok, and then in 2023 I had a video hit 1,000 views on YouTube. I was like, "Oh my god." I was so starstruck by what had happened to me because it finally felt like after putting in all that hard work, I was seeing an end result. And that was really nice. And then in 2024, I met Ian Paul and Joseph from the Vampire Diaries. They came to the city, and the friend I saw Katy Perry with, and Pink, and Haley Kiyoko, and everything. And we were like, we should go meet them. And then we did. And even though like it wasn't like a formal meet and greet with them, we chose photos, like a photo opportunity with them rather than meeting them. And I Ian told me to keep smiling, and that's something I want to get tattooed on me. Like I want to have like a quote on my hand and have it be like keep smiling, Ian S or Ian 2024. Like I want to like get that tattoo because like that always like whenever I'm like down, I kind of like think about like when Ian told me to keep smiling. And I just want that like reminder on my somewhere on like my arm, just telling myself to always keep smiling because life gets hard and that reminder can never be enough being told to you. Um and then when our photo with Joseph, I believe, we got to take it twice because someone of us blinked and they had us go back in line. So we had two photos with Joseph, which is really exciting. And then I went to my first After Dark event at Disney. It was Disney Channel night, and I met Kylie Cantrell. And Kylie Cantrell, if you don't know her, she was in Gabby and the Unsettables on Disney Channel, and then she went on to High School Musical the series for its last season. For its last season? I think yeah, it was the last season. And then she's a new lead in the Descendants franchise. And so when I saw her, I was like, I know her. I know her. I'd only seen her in High School Musical the musical the series because Descendants wasn't out yet. No, because it came out later. It came out in the summer, and I saw her in the spring. So Descendants wasn't out yet. I had only seen High School Musical, the series, and I hadn't even seen her in Gabby and the Unsettables. I just saw her in the last season of High School Musical, the series. And so it was really exciting meeting her. And then Ruby Rose Turner, who played Kylie played Red, and Ruby played Bridget, who was the Queen of Hearts. And I didn't know who it was at the time. So, like I didn't bother asking for a photo with her. But she had been in Fuller House. She played one of Joey's daughters. And if I recognize Kylie from the end of from only one season of High School Musical, the series, why did I not recognize Ruby? And like, can I get a photo with Ruby too? Like, you guys, this Disney Channel night was stacked with celebrities. It was stacked with celebrities. I was this close to meeting Jon Favreau, which if you don't know him, you either know him from the Star Wars franchise or from the Marvel franchise. And so in Marvel, he played what was his name? He played Foggy in Daredevil, like the movie Daredevil with Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner. He played Foggy. And then when the MCU came around, he directed the Iron Man movies and he played Happy Hogan. And then in the Star Wars franchise, he directs movies. I don't know. My friend that I want to come with me when I get my tattoo. She knows more about the Star Wars franchise than I do. But I know him from the Marvel universe, and I was this close. I was this close to meeting him. but you could tell he did not wanna be talked to. You could tell that he was ready to leave, and I was this close, and that's why I told myself, "The next time I see a celebrity on the street, I'm asking them for a photo because the worst thing they can do is they can say no. They can say, "Not right now," because you always miss the shots you didn't take. And so, like, that's why when I saw Kylie, because I saw Kylie after I saw John. And when I saw Kylie, I was like, I have to get a photo with her. I have to get a photo with her. And then I did. And then Dan Povenmire, who played Doofenshmirtz in Phineas and Ferb, was also there. And I just missed him. Like, I was trying to follow his Instagram stories and try to follow where he was. And I didn't get to meet him. And then the actor who plays Phineas in Phineas and Ferb was also there. And I missed out on meeting two of the most iconic voice actors in the world. So I forever regret not meeting them. And then I watched the Eras Tour movie with one of my best friends. I call her Tony and she calls me Steve. Those are just our nicknames for each other, which if you're not a Marvel fan, you won't get that reference, but if you do, if you are, then you get it. Um I graduated in 2024. I graduated with my bachelor's in liberal arts where I became and that furthered me into my development to become a teacher, and that was really exciting. I got to walk the stage with one of my friends because we were both in education, and so we were able to graduate in the same, like, chunk of people, and so it was really fun just being next to my friend the whole ceremony. They were taking point five, so, like, me, like, them and us and everything, and then I already mentioned my 2024 concerts. I also went on my Alaska cruise. My Alaska cruise was supposed to happen in 2020, but because COVID happened, it wasn't able to happen. And so 2024 felt like this redo that of what 2020 could have been. And so it was literally the Niners versus the Chiefs in the Super Bowl again. It was um, me graduating because I graduated high school in 2020 and then I graduated college in 2024. Trump wanted to run for president and then my Alaska cruise was able to happen and it just felt like everything was a redo of 2020 except for how the way the election turned out. And I went on my second after dark Disney trip. I went to Oogie Boogie and that was so much fun. I dressed up as Wanda, and I got to have like a 2.5 minute interaction with Agatha Harkness. And I replay that clip in my head over and over and over and over and over again, like every week. Like every week that video is like in my mind. And it was just not punchline, it was just roasting after roasting after roasting after roasting, and I can't believe how quick you have to be on your feet to have a comeback, because I was trying to, like I was fumbling my words, I was trying to think of comebacks on the spot, and Agatha was ready for anything and everything, and then me, on the other hand, she would say something and I'd be like, like, I just wasn't able to think quickly on my feet, but I was still able to keep it going for 2.5 minutes, and then she was like, "We could keep going on for the rest of the night, or I could just move on," and it was like, "Oh, oh." I just that whole interaction was amazing. And then I also went to Disney in November, which I had never been in back-to-back months before. The closest I had been was my January 2023 run to May 2023 because it was every other month. Because I went in January, then in March, and then in May. And so I had never been in back-to-back months before. So that was really fun. I got to be there for Halloween and then I got to be there for Christmas time. I'm not sick. I promise you I'm not sick. It's allergies. And then in 2020, oh, I also turned 22 in 2023. 2024, no. I just turned 24 in 2025. No, 2023 was when I turned 22. I don't know why I have turned 22 in the 2024 section. But then in 2025, I found my voice. I was advocating for my school. My school lost a lot of money, and there was budget cuts after budget cuts, and masters were being cut, and majors were being cut, and minors were being cut, and then majors and minors were being merged, and professors were being laid off even if they had tenure. And I got interviewed for the news, and I don't know if that clip is out there somewhere, but I got interviewed, and you could also see me in the back of news clips, and I have a "Mom, I'm on the news" playlist, and I don't know if it's public, but I have a playlist. I can make it public so you guys can, like, spot me on the news and everything. But I found my voice, and if those budget cuts happened when I was undergrad, just a year before, I would've been affected. Like, my major still would've been there, but the classes would've been merged and the professors would've been laid off. And I truly am who I am because of the professors I had undergrad and obviously postgrad too. But yeah. And then I went to 5 concerts. We already talked about who I saw. And then I also went to Pride Night for Disney, and, I got to meet the fairies, I got to meet Tinkerbell, and Silver Mist, and Fawn, and Iridessa, and Rosetta, and Video wasn't there. I was really bummed Video was not there because how can you have Pride Night and have all the fairies but the gayest fairy of them all? They did have Terrence, which is really fun to see him because you don't really get to see Terrence out a lot. And then I obviously finished college in 2025. I ended in December, and that was I graduated in 2024 with my undergrad, and then I finished college in 2025 post grad. And even though like I'm done being a student, there's still one more thing I need to do, and that's walk the stage in May. Really excited for that. And then I also had my first video ever hit 55,000 views on TikTok and across all my platforms. I've never had a video get more than 26,000 views because on my backup account on TikTok, um, I have a post that says like when Kamala didn't win the presidency, um, we lost her, and that was like one of the biggest fumbles that America's ever done. And so that video got me 25,000 views. And then also I posted a video of me doing the So High School dance, or choreo from the from the Eras tour, and that got me 20,000 views. But I had never had a video get 55,000 views before, which now has 56.1 thousand views, but I've never had a video hit that many views, and so I thought having a video hit 10K views was insane. But the fact that I had a video hit 55,000 views 3 years later was even more insane. And it was just a question. Like I didn't even really edit the video. I didn't even edit the video. And it was after I saw the Short and Sweet tour, and there was this iconic queen that was in a turkey costume. And it was around the time of Thanksgiving because the tour ended on the 23rd. And I don't know what the purpose of the turkey costume was. I tried asking TikTok, like, "Can you guys help me find this iconic queen that dressed up as a turkey?" And it just blew up. And sometimes that's what happens. Like the videos you don't put any work into, they blow up. But the videos you do put work into, they flop. And so I found it really interesting that that's been my most highest viewed video ever. Um and so that's kind of like everything that's happened in like college, like I met these wonderful people. I've dropped some people. I graduated college. I have a bachelor's. I am post grad. I'm walking the stage in May, and all these wonderful things have happened, and all these celebrities I met too. And I truly wouldn't be where I am today if I hadn't had done everything I did in college. And so like the next thing I kind of want to talk about is like the future of this channel. And I I don't know how often this long form content's gonna happen because I don't want to edit videos anymore. That's the thing. Or I don't want to edit long form videos. And so that's why I was doing lives last year. That's why I was just uploading shorts that have been for my TikTok channel. And I can still go live on here. I can still do lives with you like every once one Friday a month and have that be like my catch up with you guys. And then I can still be posting shorts. I can do shorts that are old from TikTok and publish them on here and see how many views they get. And then I can also like be doing um newer shorts where I just posted a Winx Club one and I want to do another one where I can show you the dolls I have, the Winx Club dolls I have. I can show you those and the Monster High dolls I have and there's all this other stuff I could be showing you just through short form content. And so that's kind of where I see like the future of this channel going. I can do lives and I can do short form content, but I don't see regular videos happening at all. I do plan on growing this channel though, and I really hope that I can hit 200,000, not 200,000, 200 subscribers. Because I created a bingo card with one of my friends, and I have to fix it because it's not in color order. But some like personal goals I put on here for myself is I will live in my city. I will get 200 subs on YouTube. I start teaching. Oh, another update I forgot. You guys. I got my license in 2024, but I didn't start consistently driving until August of 2025. And so I have a car. I have a car. Like if you know me, I was one of the people that took public transport wherever. I would Uber or I would take the bus and I'd be passenger princess and I have a car. And one of the personal goals on here for me is get comfortable on the freeway. Cause that's like I've been driving consistently since August 2025, but I will only go on the freeway if I absolutely have to. And if I can get on one lane and then I don't have to merge over. Like I will literally get on one lane and then I'll go straight and then I'll get off the next exit. Like that's how much I'll do on the freeway. And so I want to get comfortable on the freeway. I want to learn more Spanish because when I was post grad, I was doing student teaching. And when I was with my first graders for student teaching, I was there 4.5 days a week. And towards the end, I was starting to learn Spanish for my first graders. And their eyes would light up when I would ask them, ¿Cómo se dice en español? And so, and it was also really great that I was learning it like in everyday talk. Because with learning Spanish or with any language, you have to be immersed in it, where you're talking in it every day, where you're learning new words every day, and that's what I was doing with my first graders. And so I know lo sé, lo sé. I have like a notes app with it. Lo sé, is that what it is? Lo sé. Okay, I pulled it up. Um, oh, it's no sé, not lo sé, no sé. And it's I don't know. And that's literally that was me. Like I don't know. Like I thought it was lo sé, but it's no sé. Is it no sé? Now I'm doubting myself. I don't know in Spanish. No sé. It's no sé. And there's all these other words. Like I've learned like bench is banca. Small is chiquita or chiquito. Uh, um, feminine or masculine. And then little is un poquito. I've already learned like when some of these words, like when I was working in the daycare, like espida is weight. And I would tell my daycare kids like espida, and then espacio is space, and then dress is vestido, dress is vestido, paper is papel, um, candy is dulce, and then at 12 is do dose? Dose. Dulce is candy, dulce is 12. Um, cut is quartar. I can't roll my R's, so don't make fun of me. Chericia, um, yeah, so, like, I just wanna, like, further my Spanish speaking so I can, like, get better at it. Um, and then, like, other personal stuff I have is, like, I wanna travel to a new state because in 2024 was the first time in years I had traveled to a new state. On my cruise, we went to Alaska, and so that was the first time I had been to a new state since pre-COVID. And so this year, I want to go to a different state. I also wanna there's, like, a X amount of money I wanna save on this year. Um, and then I wanna do a Disney World trip. My Disney World trip so, like, I had this, like, goal where, like, by the time I'm 25, like, not, like, the day I turn 25, but, like, before I turn 26, when I am 25, I want to go to Disney World. And so, I don't know if that'll happen this year just because I turned 25 in November, but I do wanna go to Disney World within the next year, like, before 2027. And so that's, like, one of my another personal goal for myself. And yeah. So now that we've, like, yapped for, like these are for when I turned 24, and they're still in here because I don't wanna pop them and deflate them. But yeah, now that we've talked about, like, everything I've accomplished, like, in college and, like, everything that and, like, me growing my channel as well, that is the end of this video. I really appreciate for anybody that stopped by. Um, I don't know when my next video will be. But yeah, um, you guys can go take a look through my channel and, like, go watch all the videos I mentioned, and I want to make sure I say this, make sure you come back after the video because the views do count. And so make sure you come back. If you like this channel, give a thumbs up. If you like this content and, like, update lifestyle, give it a thumbs up. If you like this channel, give it a smash that subscribe button and make sure you comment down below. And with that being said, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.